Alright, here are some that I have listed that are ones you want to return. You don't want to pick yes, you don't want to pick no, just go ahead and return the shit. Uh, if you do pick yes or no on them, it's a 50-50 shot on whether somebody will pick yes with you or no with you. So, by all means, these ones I'm fixing to show you, return. Because like I said, I've had mixed results. It's easier to return these and just move on to the next than to get a rejection. So let me go ahead and run through them real quick and show you what I return. Alright, this is the Globo page. I've picked yes, I've picked no. It does not seem to matter. The damn things just happen to get returned. I don't know why. They just do. Alright, here's another one. This I've picked yes, this I've picked no. It's got returned either way. Return these. Uh, this one right here, you think it might be a web page. Some people seem to disagree. Return it. If you don't want a rejection, return it. This one here, obviously this is not a web page. It does not go by their guidelines whatsoever. But for some damn reason, people seem to think it's a yes. I do not know why. I don't know if they're going by the URL or what. But return these. You're taking a risk if you pick yes or if you pick no. Return these. You see them. These little iThing ones. Uh, it should be a no clearly. And most of the time they'll go through as a no. But every now and then a couple of idiots will say yes, it's a web page. What they do is they let this little timer go down, and if you let the timer go down, it will actually go to a web page. But you're supposed to be basing it on what comes up, and this is what comes up. So either pick no, which 90% of the time it'll be fine, but every now and then a couple other people say it is a web page. So, you're best off just returning this one. You come across this, return it. This Finu one, it it kind of falls along the lines of a web page. I believe this is some sort of login, uh, but I've picked yes, I've picked no. This is another one of the ones where it's just up in the air. Some people say yes, it's a web page. Some people say no. It's best to just return it. Return it, move on to the next one. Only takes a second. Avoid you a rejection. These. These come up. It's it it's got links, whatnot, but for some reason, some people click yes, it's a web page. Some people click it no. Your best bet on this one is returning it because you never know what someone else is gonna pick, and that's your main objective is no rejections. You see this? Return it. You see this? Return it. Some people say it's a web page. Some people say it isn't. Trust me. Just return this one. Save yourself headaches. Same thing with this one here. Some people seem to think it's a web page. It does not follow the guidelines. All it is kind of like a short blog post. Technically, it should be a no, but sometimes people pick yes. Best bet, once again, return it. Don't mess with it. Just return it. Same thing with this. This comes out of the for shared. This is why I tell you don't go by the URLs saying yes or no, because generally all your for shareds are a yes. But when this comes up, you can pick yes, you can pick no. It doesn't matter. Sometimes it will be good, sometimes it's not. Best thing to do, you see this, return it. Same thing with this here. Going by their standards, it's kind of a web page, kind of isn't, and just return it. It's just too iffy. You don't know who's gonna say yes on it, who's gonna say no on it. Just your best bet. Return the damn thing. This one here. This clearly should be a no, but once again, some people decide to pick yes. Best bet, return it. It's always better to return one. It only takes a second, and it doesn't hurt your count. There's actually not that many you end up returning. This is the last I'm going to show you the ones I return. But basically, anything that looks questionable that you're not sure about, return it. Return it. This goes by 3 people. What 3 people decide. If 2 decide yes and 1 decides no, the no gets the rejection. And they have a threshold of rejections. I'm not sure what the percentage is, so it's always better to just go ahead and return shit like this than to get a rejection. If you follow this like how I do, I mean, my rejection rate is between 0 and 2 per thousand now. I've got it way down. And I pay attention to what ads come up where. So if I do get a rejection, I can go back through my account listing where it shows your hits, and you can get a rough idea where that rejection was at as far as the hits you done. If it's towards the end, you can kind of guess it up with what it was that people disagreed with you on. What I mean by that is, let's close that and bring this up really quick just so you can see what I'm talking about. We'll say this day I did 865 of them. Not one rejection. Well, there's some 2 lakes I did this day too. That's what the ARP's for. But see, classify this. You got a rough idea, what ones you did in the beginning, what ones you did in the end. So if you look through there and try to see where the rejection fell at, I know it's hard to remember out of 800 something hits which ones you did and which ones you did where, but Classify This actually has a way they do these. They start out with 2,355 hits, and it slowly goes all the way down to 1. And if you keep doing these, you'll notice a pattern. They post certain hits in the beginning, like when you get down to around 1,900, all the way down to 900. In there is where you'll see a lot of the Classmates hits, which is the orange ones. They'll have an orange hue to them, and I will get into them on the next little recording I do here. But anyways, this is your general of what you want to return, what I showed you. Anything like that, return it, man. A return is 10 times better than a reject. Requesters do not care if you return their hits. Rarely do they ever set an amount of returns that's bad. And if you look, I'm at over 90,000 hits. My return rate is below 10%. So that'll give you a rough idea. So I end up returning about 9% of hits. And this number is actually slowly going down because of my return rate when I do Classify This is getting lower and lower because I'm getting better and better at which ones to return and which ones to pick yes or no. So hopefully with these short little guides I'm showing you will help you decide faster on what to return, what to pick yes on, what to pick no on. That way you won't have to spend the months I have invested into this figuring out which ones are good and which ones are bad. I got my rejection rate so low on these to where basically when one's rejected, I can go back through and get a really good rough idea of what one was rejected, so I can decide if it was just a couple of idiots picking no or yes, however it went, or if it was something on my fault. Which every now and then, you might have an error. I mean, I go through these very quickly, so that is very possible. So this ends my little recording for what to return when you are doing Classify This. My hopes is that this helps you out and gives you a better idea of which hits to return. What we'll go through next is I'll show you the ones that are definitely no's. Ones that you should pick no on. I'm fixing to go ahead and do that recording now. Uh, so that is what's in store next. Good luck turking. This could be some good money on Classify This, man. Pay attention to this shit, I tell you.